कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कङ्कणम् सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपास्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूडामणि वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are reading from Canto 11 Bhagavad Mahapuran, and we have covered 33 chapters so far. The last few chapters were the most important chapters of Bhagavad Mahapuran, called Ras Panchadhyayi. The 5 chapters, 29, start of the Ras Leela. Chapter 30, Gopis' miserable conditions in the separation of Sri Krishna. Chapter 31, Gopika Geet. Chapter 32, Sri Krishna appears again and consoles the gopis. And 33 is the most amazing event called Maharaj. And we were really very much enchanted learning about this Maharaj, which means the collection of rasa. Rasa is the bliss. And when you collect all the rasas, then it's called Maharas. And this is the highest bliss which is possible in this world, as per Bhagavad Mahapuran. And that was made available to the eligible gopis by Lord Shri Krishna as a reward for their devotion. So the devotion that the gopis exhibited are called the Nishkam Prem, selfless devotion. And these gopis are called the gopis in the Samartharati Bhav. That means they don't aspire for their own happiness. They are only concerned about the happiness of their beloved, which is Sri Krishna. Those gopis who are in a state where they do look for their happiness also, they were not permitted into Maharaj. And they included Lakshmi, they included Rukmini, and many other well-known personalities. They were not permitted to enter Maharaj. So Maharaj is such an important celebration of devotion and selfless devotion. What is selfless devotion? When the expectation is not there at all. The love is not for one's own happiness. The love is only for the happiness of the beloved. And when a devotee loves the Lord in such a manner, the Lord provides the ultimate bliss. And bhakti is not an exercise with monetary power or strength or any such opulences. Bhakti is just a matter of heart, where the sentiments are all in the mind. That makes bhakti very, very easy because there is no externality. However, to bring oneself to that state is such a difficult task. So it is difficult as well as it is very easy also in the context. So few amazing episodes we came across. The one in which the gopis raised question to Sri Krishna to put him on a spot, and then Sri Krishna very deftly describes the four types of persons: the Atmaram, Aptakam, Akritagya, and Guru Drohi. So Sri Krishna says, "I don't belong to any one of these devotees," because that was a question by the gopis that when you love someone and when you don't love someone, there are two states. So in the first state, the person reciprocates or the person does not reciprocate. So whatever those persons who don't reciprocate, whether you love or whether you when you love, the person reciprocates, and when you love and the person doesn't reciprocate, and when you don't love, still the person loves you back, then out of these three categories, O Krishna, where do you belong? And that's when he had said about these four categories: Atmaram, Aptakam, Akritagya, and Guru Drohi. And then he said, I don't belong to any of these categories. And then he explains the reason why he vanished from the midst of the gopis in Maharas. And that was only to enhance their devotion, because giving the example of the poor person who became rich and again lost the wealth, now he becomes so focused on getting the wealth back because he has tasted that bliss, his commitment is faultless. So on a very transcendental note, we completed the Maharas Ras Panchadhyay. So we can conclude that before we enter into the new chapter, which is a completely different in context, that is the liberation of Sudarshan and Shankchuda. So possibly we can sing the Gopi Geets 1, 4, and 9, and then go into the bhajan and the text. So the prominent Gopi Geet, which is very much the favorites of Sri Maharaji, are number 1, Jayati te dikam janmana vrajah Shayat indira shaswadatrahi दयितदृश्यतां दीक्षुतावका स्वैधृतासवश त्वां विचिन्वते न खलु गोपिका नन्दनो भवान् नखिलदेहिनाम् अन्तरात्मदृक् विखनसार्थितो विश्वगुप्तये सखौ देवान् सात्वतां कुले तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जना Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Radhe. Now we shall sing the bhajan and then we will read the text from the new chapter, chapter number 34. So over to Sri Vijay. You would like to read the English translation before we sing the bhajan? Yeah.
Chant the glorious name of Lord Gauranga. Lord Gauranga of Nadia is combined form of Radha Krishna of Braj. He is the combined form of Sitaram of Ayodhya. The one who worships Lord Gauranga attains the divine abode of God. Radha Radha.
Okay, so short bhajan. Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re. Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Braj ke Radhe Shyam re, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurang, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re. Please scroll. Bhaj Gaurangir, Bhaj Gaurangir, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re. Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Avadh ke Sita Ram re. Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Ei Gaurang Nadiya Vare, Avadh ke Sita Ram re, Avadh ke Sita Ram re, Bhaj Gaurangir, Bhaj Gaurangir, Bhaj Gaurangir naam re. Ei Gaurang bhajne vare, Ei Gaurang bhajne vare, Ei Gaurang bhajne vare, Ei Gaurang bhajne vare, jaye Hari ke धाम रे, जाए हरि के धाम रे. भज गौरांग, भज गौरांग, भज गौरांग नाम रे. भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर ते, भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर ते, युगल रूप अभी राम रे, युगल रूप अभी राम रे. भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर ते, भीतर श्याम गौर बाहर ते, जुगल रूप अभी राम रे, जुगल रूप अभी राम रे. भज गौरांग, भज गौरांग, भज Gaurang Naam Re. Vijay Bhaiya, you want to sing one or two lines?
Hey Gauranga Nadiya Pare, Hey Gauranga Nadiya Pare.
Your voice.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey Gauranga Nadiya Pare, Hey Gauranga Nadiya Pare.
The voice is very feeble.
Okay, maybe my mic is not.
Okay. Ei Gaurang Nadiya Ware Awadh ke Sita Ram Re Baj Gaurang Baj Gaurang Baj Gaurange Naam Re Naam Re. बोलिए श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार
सरकार
की
की जय,
जय। श्रीमद युगल सरकार की
सरकार
जय।
की
जय जय श्री
जय,
राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundanandji. My humble pranam to each one of you. And now we shall read from the chapter number 34 in Canto 10 called Nand Maharaj Saved and Shankchud Slain. Slide number first one. Sukhdev ji continues, once all the residents of Braj went on a pilgrimage to Ambika One, sacred to goddess Uma, riding their bullock carts. Bathing in the river Saraswati, all worshipped goddess Ambika and her lord Shiv with devotion and as per rituals gave generous dakshinas to brahmanas. Observing a fast, sustaining on water only, Nandaraj, along with his younger brother Sunand, spent that night on the banks of the Saraswati. As destiny would have it, a very hungry serpent, a boa constrictor, came at the spot and started swallowing Nandaraj. Alarmed, Nandaraj cried out to the Lord, O Krishna, O enchanter of all, O dear, see this huge serpent swallowing me. Protect me, rescue me. The sleeping residents got up, hearing Nandaraj's cry, and struck the serpent with fire sticks to release Nandaraj. But the serpent remained undeterred, catching Nandaraj firmly in its coils. And then Sri Krishna arrived and placed his foot on the serpent, and wonderfully, the serpent instantly got rid of all his karmas with the Lord's touch. And shedding his serpent body, now was seen in a shining form of a Vidyadhar. Sri Krishna then asked the resplendent, ornamented form of the superhuman being who was bowing low to Krishna, who are you with this shining form? So, in the picture, we can see the serpent boa constrictor, and we can see how Sri Krishna's father, Vasudev ji, has been captured. And then, when Sri Krishna comes out to rescue him, when Nand Baba has cried, he places his foot on the serpent, and the serpent, from the serpent emerges this Vidyadhar, which is a higher being. So he is in a very resplendent and ornamented form. And let us see what happens in the next slide. How did you get entangled as with a reptile's body? The splendid form replied, O Supreme Lord, I am Vidyadhar, known as Sudarshan. Blessed with an enormously beautiful form, I used to roam all around in an aerial vehicle. Overcome with pride due to my good looks, I once laughed at some deformed sages belonging to the dynasty of sage Angira. They then cursed me to turn into a serpent for my sin of mocking and ridiculing them. O Father of the universe, now I know their curse was actually a boon to me, for only as a result of that curse I am now graced and touched with your foot, wiping out all my sins. O Supreme Lord, freed of my sins with your grace, I now seek permission to take leave of you, the Supreme Divine Lord, who removes the fear of transmigration and gives protection. Verse number 1034:16. प्रपन्नो अस्मि महायोगिन् महापुरुष सत्पते अनुजानीहि मां देव सर्वलोकेश्वरेश्वर. The Vidyadhar continues, O Lord, your very sight has rid the curse off from me when by only uttering your name, a person not only purifies himself, but also of those who hear him. Then what to say about the benefits of your purifying touch? With permission from Krishna, Sudarshan did a pradakshina and left for his abode in heaven. Then all the residents of Braj, completing their pilgrimage, returned and described the wonderful event to each other, glorifying Krishna. So, this is the story of Sudarshan, who is a Vidyadhar, and how he had been cursed because he was very much proud of his looks and he had ridiculed some deformed sages. So, in the picture, we can see the residents and this amazing event which has taken place. And now, let's move on to the next slide. On another night, O Parikshit, Sri Krishna, the protector of cows, and Balram, the powerful, were in the forest with the gopis. The two divine brothers looked dazzling with their beautiful garments and ornaments. The moon and stars were shining brightly in the sky, with the two brothers singing melodiously, accompanied with the hum of the intoxicated bees, and the air spreading fragrant aroma all over. Listening to the song, the gopis lost into a trance and were not even aware of themselves. While the two brothers continued singing melodiously, an attendant of Kuber, Shankchud, arrived at the spot. He then started carrying the terrified, screaming gopis away towards the north. Krishna and Balram, hearing the gopis' cries, immediately followed in pursuit, carrying logs of a sal tree, reassuring and telling the gopis to not be afraid, and very quickly caught up with the Yaksh. Seeing the two divine brothers as if Kal and Death personified, the Yaksh then left the women and ran to save his own life. While Balram stayed back with the gopis to guard them, Krishna ran behind the Yaksh and catching hold of him easily, snatched the gem studded in his crest crown. Slaying the Yaksh with his feast, he gifted the precious gem to his dear elder brother Balram, with the gopis watching in amazement. So, this is the story of Sankhachud, which has been extracted from the crown of the Yaksh who had taken the gopis away. So, they did this mischief and they have been punished by Balramji and Krishna. Balramji has stopped, but Krishna continued to pursue the Yaksh and he snatched the gem and also slayed the Yaksh with his feast. And then the precious gem which he has brought, he has gifted to his elder brother Balramji. And how the gopis are watching all this in amazement is the story all about. And now let us move on to the next slide. So over to Vijay Bhaiya. You can um, read the slide.
Okay,
Let the
so
participants read. Yeah,
yeah, I think we almost with the chapter. It's
yeah,
takeaways
so
now.
this is the takeaway. Okay, short chapter, right?
Okay, shall I sing it once?
Yeah. चेतो
Che-
दर्पन्मार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निनिर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधुजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Yes, please go ahead.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the ray of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
Right. So, from the Siksha Ashtak of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this most iconic mantra we just read, glorifying the Sankirtan movement, which is spread by Lord Chaitanya in the recent times. So, he is enchanting the whole world with the Maha Mantra, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. So that is being glorified. If because we have time, so if anyone else wishes to sing the Sanskrit version and read the translation, you are most welcome.
चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा निर्वापणं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विदयावभूदि विदयावभूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मसनपनं परं विजयते Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So with that, we have come to the end of today's session. I presume that's the last uh, slide. And the next few chapters will be 35 will be Yugal Geet. So Yugal Geet is the song by, I guess, Krishnas and Gopis in a different context, which we will explore. And chapter numbers 36 is liberation of Aristasur and Kans sends Akrurji to Braj. So the background of Shri Krishna coming to Mathura will begin from the next two chapters. And in the process, all these demons will be killed. Keshi, Vyomasur. There will be a glory sung by Naradji for the Lord. Akrurji will perform his journey to Braj. There will be the journey of Shri Krishna and Balramji to Mathura. Akrurji will glorify the Lord Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna will enter Mathura. And then the episode of Kubja. Kubja is the hunchbacked woman who is mocked by the residents because she has this look where she is bent and she walks with this hunch. She is not pretty, and all people mock her, comment on her looks. But she is an expert sandalwood uh, maker. She makes the sandalwood paste and supplies to Kans, who is the king. And then how Sri Krishna knows that Kubja is an ardent devotee of Shri Krishna, although Shri Krishna belongs to the Sadharani Rati. She only loves Sri Krishna, no one else, but she wants Sri Krishna to satiate her desires. So she is the Sadharani Rati devotee. And how the Lord is ever so merciful, He never disappoints anyone, He always reciprocates the love. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. He assures that in Bhagavad Gita, and He never forgets. Whatever service we render to the Lord, He reciprocates multifold. There is no doubt about it. And the irony is, we don't sufficiently believe in it, that when we are remembering Sri Krishna ardently and sincerely, at that very moment, in that very sentiment, with that very magnitude, Sri Krishna is also reciprocating our love. We keep forgetting it, or perhaps we never think like this. Well, I am really in love with Sri Krishna. He is the most amazing personality. He has the answer to all my questions. He is the cause for all causes. The breath which I am taking is also because of Krishna. The food that I am eating is being digested is also because of Krishna. The pran which is flowing in my body and keeping me alive is also because of Krishna. The fruits and the grains and the nuts and the vegetables I am eating is also caused by Sri Krishna. The lives that we see around me are also because of the power of the Lord. Do we think like that? We don't. We are so puffed up in our own little existence. But devotion is a 24 by 7 obsession. We cannot be taking interruptions and intervals in devotion. That devotion is not devotion. सवै पुंसा परो धर्मो यथो भक्तिर अधोक्षजे अहैतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति is Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 6. When Shaunakadik rishis raised the question, we are living in Kali Yuga where the lifespan has reduced to 100 years and not everyone lives up to 100 years, where our mind has become so full of anxieties and worries and miseries, when our memory has reduced so much, when our fortune isn't at the best, when we have become so lazy and lethargic and unenthusiastic about the real goal of our life, and when we are always disturbed, hyupadrutaha. प्रायेण अल्पायुष सभ्य कलावस्मिन् युगे जनाः मंदा सुमंदमतियो मंदभाग्या hyupadrutaha. These are the questions of Shaunakadik rishis. Who are these rishis? They are the group of 88,000 rishis residing in the forest of Naimisharanya and participating in a yagya which is lasting for years. Someone told me the Naimisharanya forest is near Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. So these rishis were there and their leader was Shaunak. That is why they are called Shaunakadik rishis. And their guru, the mentor, was Sut Goswami. And who is Sut Goswami? He is the son of Romharshan Rishi, who is the disciple of Veda Vyasji. And Sut Goswami has the fortune of sitting in the assembly of the listeners who were listening to the katha rendered by Shukdev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of river Ganga. So look at the beautiful chain. And those Shaunakadik rishis are raising this question to Sut Goswami. Oh, Sut Goswami ji, you had this fortune of being in the assembly of the sages who had gathered to listen to the discourse by Shukdev Ji Maharaj, spoken to Parikshit Maharaj, who is destined to die within 7 days. So you have so much of knowledge and all the wisdom. Can you please tell us the mitigation of Kali Yuga miseries? And that's when this question was raised. So the answer was 126 Savai Punsa Yatho Bhaktir Savai Punsa Paro Dharma Yatho Bhaktir Adhokchaje Ahaituki Apratihata Yayatma Samprasidati. All you have to do is to perform bhakti. And that bhakti should be ananya. No anya, na anya. If you are worshipping Sri Krishna, you cannot keep switching over. Now I will worship a Vidyadhar. Now I'll worship a Gandharva. Now I'll worship a Devata. Now I'll worship a Bhoot. Now I'll worship a Pishach. Now I'll worship a human under Maya. That is not Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti is exclusive devotion to God, which in our context is Sri Krishna. And when we see Krishna, it also means Sri Balram, it also means Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it also means Ram, it also means different avatars of the Lord. It also means his leelas, it also means his qualities, it also means his names. So this complete family is Sri Krishna. Even the bhakta, if there is an Ananya Bhakt of Sri Krishna, his remembrance, his bhakti is equally potent. So that bhakti should be Ananya, which we just explained, and that bhakti should be apratihata. There should not be any interruption. Like we know our father and mother, the father of our body, the mother of our body, we know very well. Do we ever have doubts that he is not my father or she is not my mother? That's an uninterrupted knowledge, uninterrupted attachment. But with the Lord, we don't have this kind of an uninterrupted flow of devotion. So it should be uninterrupted. That's the condition number 2. And the condition number 3 is, let us not make it a business. Oh Lord, I'm coming to you because I want you to take away my suffering. Knowing that the Lord knows all our sufferings and he must be doing something to mitigate it, we are still approaching him. That means we have not understood what bhakti is. So it should be ananya, it should be ahaituki, it should be apratihata. This is called तैल धारावद विच्छिन्न श्री कृष्ण सुखैक तात्पर्यमय भक्ति. तैल धारावद विच्छिन्न प्रतिक्षण वर्धमान श्री कृष्ण सुखैक तात्पर्यमय भक्ति. The bhakti is only for the happiness of the Lord. So lots to recap today. I wanted to talk about the 4 types of praman which we were discussing in the US program. We often ask the question, how do I believe in God? Where is the proof? So the proof could be pratyaksh. You see the fire and say, oh, the fire is there. So that is the pratyaksh praman of the fire, the agni. Or you see the smoke and then you conclude, infer, because there is smoke, there must be fire. That's Anuman Praman. And then there is another Praman which is called Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman is the highest. Like the mother tells the child, this is your father. She is not proving DNA certificate. She is saying that with her authority. And that authority, the words are taken with all the authenticity, and that is called Shabda Praman. Similarly, a Mahapurush or God himself says the words and they become eternal gospel. So that is something we should remember. In US program, we also spoke about Padavani, Madhyama Vani, Vakhari Vani, and Pashyanti Vani. There are 4 types of speech. Like now, I am saying the mantra loudly. Savai punsa paro dharmo yatho bhakti radokchaje. This is called Vaikhari Vani. But suppose I just mutter it in my mouth without making a sound. Pupansu style. It is not loud, it is silent, but still the lips are moving. This is called Madhyama Vani. And Pashyanti is you are focused on the mantra and you can almost see the text before your eyes. Savai punsa paro dharmo yato bhakti radokchaje ahituki apratihata yayatma samprasidati. This is called Pashyanti Vani. And when you don't say, you know the mantra, you are chanting it with full sincerity and devotion and concentration, but you are not saying it either silently or loudly, or you are reading the text, that is called Padavani. And I was astounded when one expert was saying that Paravani is 1 million or 10 million, I'll have to check the number, more potent than the spoken Vani. When we speak out, it is very potent. We convey the message. But if that same mantra, if you retain in your persona, you don't let it out, then it becomes so much more potent. And working on that theme, he was saying that the negative thoughts also we should not retain, we should blurt it out. Like you are carrying negative sentiments for someone. So you are hiding and kind of suppressing those sentiments within you. So that becomes so much more stronger. Let me explore a little more about this and then I'll perhaps do justice to the explanation. The moot point is there is so much to learn from Bhagavad Mahapuran. This is like one stop source of knowledge where every knowledge is available. Like in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, once you know the divine knowledge, you get to know everything. So slowly, we are learning about the Vani. We are learning about the 26, 28 elements which constitute our physical and astral body. We are learning about different types of proofs. We are learning about different lokas. We are learning about different species. We are learning about so much about the Ayurveda, the food, that when we eat the food, it is converted by the Lord's energy into rasa and then rakta and then mansa and then meda and then majja and then shukra. All the 7 dhatus are formed. The science has never been able to explain how the kidney was created and how the pancreas was created and how the gallbladder was created and how these are carrying out such amazing work. And the 7.2, 72 crore naris, 720 million, the cells, the nerves, the nervous system. So everything is so amazing. I was also reading about the information that is contained in the brain. It is in petabyte. Like you have megabyte and gigabyte, and then there is terabyte and petabyte. So this is in petabyte. how many thousands or millions of gigabytes. So everything is so amazing about this divine world, but we are so miserable and we are so miser. We are just caught up in our routine day to day activity so much that we don't have time for this knowledge. So it is very fortunate that we are assembling together to learn from the pages of Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran. With those words, let us glorify the name of the Lord. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai.
Jai
Srimad Yugal Sarkar ki
Shri
jai.
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Radhe,
Jai
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 Shri
Shri
Radhe.
Radhe,
Jai
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 Shri
Shri Radhe.
Radhe. And now we can open the participants to chip in. I wanted to also quote one beautiful Ramayana Chaupai, which I read about the point that don't look at the defects of the Lord and the Mahapurush. So, when that's what we do, we start finding faults with the Mahapurush. This is what Parikshit Maharaj did. Shukdev Goswami is giving him the lecture and he is telling, why did Sri Krishna, who is the upholder of Dharma, did this heinous act of doing Maharas with gopis who were the wives of other men. So the Chaupai that Tulsidas ji writes, समरथ कह नहीं दोष गुसाई रवि पावक सुर सरी की नाई समरथ कह नहीं दोष गुसाई रवि पावक सुर सरी की नाई मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी द्रबहु सो दशरथ अजीर बिहारी श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. So, in the context of Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, Shukdev ji had just given the example of the fire. You put a shoe in the fire, you put dirt in the fire, everything gets purified. But here Tulsidas ji is giving two more examples. One is about the sunlight. It is falling on the puddle of mud, puddle of urine, but it is not getting affected. Similarly, Ganga ji, thousands of dirt, the drains with the dirt are falling into Ganga ji, but everything is becoming Ganga ji. That is the personality of the Lord. That is the personality of Mahapurush. Radhe Radhe. Over to Vijay Bhaiya and others.
We have so much, so many information and so nice to
थोड़ा
hear.
नजदीक आके बोलिए, आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
अभी ठीक है?
अभी ठीक है.
Thank you so much, Via. So nice to hear all the important notes. There are so many takeaways from today. Mostly from the the personal thoughts and the the points that you have told. We often just do routine devotion and what we have to do at this time in the morning or maybe evening or sometime. It is actually a 24-hour business, not not like we do at a particular time and then just do whatever we want to do rest of the time. So that's a takeaway for me. Also, you said like there are many important things that we have to learn and we are stuck with the small things. I have to do this, I have to do that. I have to go here, I have to pick up this, I have to pick up that. There's so much information we have, and the way we are built, the opportunities that we have, and we are not, we don't have the awareness about that. So that's something like, very inspiring, and probably that will help me a lot, um, focusing on the important things. Thank you so much, Priya. If anybody else has any feedback or anything you guys learned, want to share, please go ahead and mute it.
Radhe Radhe Rajesh ji. Like Vijay Bhaiya said similarly, we just have to focus on what's the most essential, the most important, and that's what we keep forgetting. He's very right in saying that each day we get embroiled in what's to be done, what's this, rather than just doing what needs to be done, but keeping our mind focused on Sri Krishna. Maharaj ji keeps saying it again and again and again, but इतने पागल हैं हम लोग, और मैं स्पेशली, कि इस बात को मन में लेते ही नहीं है, इस बात को समझते हैं, हाँ समझ गए, अरे अरे महाराज जी ने कहा था, दिन में एक दो दफे बिल्कुल समझ में आती है कि ये करना चाहिए, एंड फिर वही माया ने घेर लिया, परंतु गलती तो अपनी है, माया को अपन ही तो घेरने देते हैं. So that's what I would say. But thank you for continuously enabling us to focus on what's the most important in life. Radhe Radhe Bhaiya.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
राधे राधे भैया.
Radhe Radhe.
बहुत ही सुंदर सेशन था भैया. हर बार हम लोग कुछ ना कुछ आपसे नया सीखते हैं, फिर भूल भी जाते हैं, आप फिर दोहराते हैं, फिर से वो स्मरण में आता है. आपकी सारी बातें इतनी अनमोल हैं जो हम लोग अब तक नहीं जान पाए. जैसे आज आपने बताया नौमी सारण्य वन के बारे में कि वो कहाँ पे स्थित है, कानपुर में है, ये मुझे अभी तक पता नहीं था. मन में आता था उस समय कि ये कहाँ पे लोकेटेड होगा, तो यूं ही मैं सोचती थी कहीं यूपी, और मतलब एक दिमाग में था, क्या पता क्यों यूपी आता था, लेकिन ये नहीं पता था ये कानपुर में है. और दूसरी चीज जो आपने एक उदाहरण दिया, जैसे माँ आपको बताती है कि ये आपके पिता हैं या ये आपके दादाजी हैं, तो आपको कोई शक या शुबा नहीं होता है, कोई संदेह नहीं रहता है. आप बिल्कुल मतलब एकदम नॉर्मल वे में उन चीज़ों को एक्सेप्ट करते हैं और आगे बढ़ते हैं और उनको सम्मान देते हैं. उसी तरह ये हमारा भागवतम जो स्वयं भगवान के मुख से निकला है, वो हमें जो भी गाइडेंस दे रहा है, जो भी नॉलेज दे रहा है, जो भी आनंद दे रहा है, उसको हमें बहुत ही सुगमता से उसको ही सच मानकर आगे बढ़ना है और अपने जीवन को बहुत ही सुखमय और सुंदर बनाने का प्रयास करना चाहिए. और जो एक अंतिम में आपने कुछ कहा था, गुरु या कोई भी आपका जो शिक्षक है, उसकी बातों पे संदेह करना या उससे पूछना कि आपने ये जो कहा है वो ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है. जैसे गोपी और कृष्ण के प्रेम के बारे में जो संदेह था किसी शिष्य को, और उन्होंने अपने गुरु से ऐसा सवाल किया जिससे कृष्ण के सुंदर चरित्र का होने पे ही क्वेश्चन मार्क लग गया. तो उसका आपने इतना सुंदर उदाहरण देकर माँ और बच्चे का हमें समझाया, तो सब चीज़ें मानना और समझना बहुत ही आसान हो गया है. बहुत ही सुंदर. राधे राधे सबको. बाय.
I think we are almost time.
बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय.
जय.
श्रीमद युगल सरकार की
जय.
जय जय श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे. जय जय श्री राधे.
Radhe Radhe
Radhe
everyone.
Radhe, yeah.
Bye.